This week's parasha Bereshit, Sefer Bereshit. We're starting the Torah all over again. We're speaking about the creation of the world right now. And every single day, at the end of the day, or almost every single day, it says that at the end of the day, Vayar Elohim, God looks around and he says, oh, Kitov, it's good. We know that on day number 2, we skipped the word Kitov. There was Machloket. Day 3, Yom Shlishi, it says Kitov twice. But at the very end of day 6, after HaKadosh Baruch Hu creates everything, Vayar Elohim et kol asher asa v'hine Tov Meod. And God doesn't just say that it's good, he says that it's very good. And we spoke in the past some of the midrashic ideas. What does it mean, Tov Meod? What does it mean, very good? So we know that Meod is Gematria Adam, that was the greatest for the pinnacle of creation. Why did Hashem create the world? It was Naaseh Adam, it was for the sake of creating man. So maybe the Meod is going on man, on mankind, the very last creation. Others say Meod, Tov goes on Yetzer Tov, Meod goes on Yetzer Hara. They were actually praising HaKadosh Baruch Hu for Yetzer Hara, and even Puranut, and even punishments, because through the Yetzer Hara and through the punishments we can actually grow, we can be tested. We're not just angels that are robots, but we actually have free will this way, and we can actually clean ourselves in this world down below to get a more beautiful Olam Haba. So there's always beautiful, deep ideas behind the idea of Vehine Tov Meod. But then I saw something a lot more simple, a pshat approach in Rabbeinu B'Hayeh, which I also think is extremely deep. Says Rabbeinu B'Hayeh, Al derech hapshat, hiskir tov meod al hakol. He says, what does it mean that it's very good? You know what's very good means? It means that everything, meaning at the end of the 6 days of creation, right before Shabbat starts, so Hashem looks around and he says, no, you know what? Each thing itself might have been tov, it might have been good, but now together, it's very good. He says, and until now, he spoke about each of the individual things. He said, ki tov. But now, we're speaking about everything. He says, everything all together is greater than the sum of its parts. It's about synergy. Tov meod, the very good goes on everything. And he says, V'dava, and you should know and understand this, Shekol matzui sheba'olam, everything in the world that's been created, hu omed bekoach matzui acher. It only can exist with the help of something else in creation. He says, a person can't stand up without having the ground, and we can breathe without having the atmosphere. Like all the different parts of the world all come together. The human body works the exact same way. The arm can't be moving and working if there's no brain that's involved, and the leg, each part together all comes together, and the sum of the parts is much greater than everything else. He says a human being is known as an olam katan, and he says that the world can also be called in certain places an adam gadol. The idea being that everything is created connected to each other. There's this achdut of the world, just like there's an achdut within a human being. There's an achdut of the world. We all need each other. We all need all the parts of creation to really exist and to really be here. And he says, and this is going to teach us that there's something much deeper going on in HaKadosh Baruch Hu's creation as well. And just like the whole world has this unity, the whole world is one, so too HaKadosh Baruch Hu is one. So through looking at the world and looking through the synergy and the interconnectivity of all that takes place, whether on the personal level of the human being or on the greater level of the world, it all comes together to teach you about the oneness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And then he has a nice little hint that he says, okay, the Tov by itself, that symbolizes the potential, but Tov Meod is when it all comes together and all works together, it actually actualizes its potential. Because if we go to the story of Moshe Rabbeinu, what do we find by Moshe Rabbeinu? When Moshe Rabbeinu is born, he says Moshe Rabbeinu was complete in potential when he was born. He's Kirbo Katuv Kitov. So the Torah tells us about Moshe Rabbeinu that he's Kitov. Shneimar B'Torah Oto Kitovhu. The pasuk says when he was born, he was Tov, he was good. But afterwards, when he reaches the great levels of seeing the Shekhinah, the Torah, and he uses his sechel, and he really reaches the potential of what Moshe Rabbeinu was supposed to reach down in the desert after he gives us the Torah, so over there, he's skir bo me'od. Then already the word me'od is added to Moshe Rabbeinu, as the pasuk says, Va'ish Moshe anav me'od. And again, this concept of me'od symbolizing something much greater than the potential, something much greater than the part. Moshe Rabbeinu was able to maximize himself and reach that great level as the Rabbeinu of the whole Jewish people, and by teaching us the Torah, and by bringing it all together, and ultimately that should give us a much deeper understanding of the achdut of everything in the world, including HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom.